You're tuned to Evergreen Media Network. I am Cindy Schwartz, and this is the Patient Partner Show. Jeannie Roller is my co-host. Jeannie, today we are talking about, and this is something that you and I have had discussions in and out and about on the show, on other podcasts, and certainly behind the scenes, of how we have talked with people that some of these surgeries that are performed, that are scheduled, that are done, really aren't necessary. And you found this article that actually talks about that, how one facility was doing that. And so we know it. It's like the other things that happen in the harm section of the medical system that, no, this doesn't happen. No, this doesn't happen. This we hear all over and over and over. And we know that it does. We know that it does. And it's just another nail in the whole works of everything to where what can you actually trust and what's real anymore. I mean, this is like crazy. There's supposed to be gatekeepers out there. We talk about that all the time. There's supposed to be situations in place, systems in place that check all of this, that we're supposed to have ethics. We're supposed to have dignity, respect, all kinds of things. And wow, one story after another just keeps obliterating what we know is a sincere and viable medical system. Again, sad for people that are doing the right thing, and that's with any profession, but to see it in the medical profession is just unbelievable, because those systems, those facilities, those personnel are held to a standard, afforded that higher standard. Then when they obliterate it, to me, it's tenfold or 20-fold or 1,000-fold, or however bad that really is. It shows itself. So talk about the article that you sent to me, Jeannie.
Well, a hospital is under indictment, which means, the charges are there. They haven't been proven, about allowing unnecessary surgeries from a doctor who was on staff there from like 1984 until his arrest in 2019. During this time, he had also been convicted of 2 federal felonies in 1996. The lawsuit alleges that the hospital knew this was going on, that they are in fact part of it. They allege that they were doing it to make profit. This doctor was an OB/GYN, so he was performing hysterectomies, which is not reversible, and other unnecessary medical procedures on women. He was sterilizing women. Is basically what he was doing. And they found that the indictment found that the hospital was complicit in trying just to put profits over patient care. And we've talked about that a lot, that us, a lot of times that seems to be what is going on.
I remember we talk about this, Jeannie, that it's our opinions, a lot of this stuff. So here's some of it. In fact, we can't really give all of the information because of our own disclosure and those kind of things. We're not lawyers. We're not doctors. It's just stories that we come across that have made it into the media. And we know a lot of stuff makes it into the media that's not true, but these things are being followed up in this particular story. But, I remember myself personally having this conversation with a bunch of friends, and I'm going to say 20, 30 years ago, when there seemed to be an awful lot just in society in general of women getting hysterectomies. Like they couldn't figure something out, give them a hysterectomy. They couldn't do this. If endometriosis, give them a hysterectomy. Blah, 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 blah. Monthly pain, those kind of things. So it's so sad because, again, it's not reversible. You can't reverse it. One should give the hysterectomy. But I remember that personally in my life, talking with a lot of friends of mine, female friends of mine, and these things were happening. And to see this in person now read it in person from 1984 to, what was it, 1998?
2019.
2019. So even worse. How many years? Do the math. Ridiculous. Crazy.
Well, Cindy, and he was having a lot of babies induced on Saturdays. And then it's alleged that then he would falsify the records to try to get double paid. It's just a whole lot of things going on. So many women have been permanently harmed because of this.
Mm-hmm.
When you induce labor the 39 before 39 weeks, there are risks to the baby too. They might not be formed correctly at that time. So, I mean, it's just a total disregard, in my opinion, that this doctor had for human life.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then it's backed up by the facility where he was that condoned it.
Right.
I mean, if they willingly knew this, and you're saying in that story, it's saying they did, you willingly condone this and know this, and this is, and we as the patients are blindsided, and we don't know. We're trusting. We're
Right.
trusting. And how long does it take to even bring this to some kind of medical conclusion, let alone the legal conclusion? I mean, crazy that you wouldn't stop this the minute you saw this happening and the minute you knew this was happening. Crazy.
Right. And by the way, this article is from the DOJ, justice.gov.
Okay.
So it's just not your regular media source. It is from the government.
Mm-hmm.
This doctor was convicted of 2 felonies in 1996
Mm-hmm.
during kind of the middle of this time span. I don't know what those felonies were,
Mm-hmm.
but, he kept on practicing. I mean, I would like to know if a medical person involved in my care, has a felony or has some sort of discipline against them, what it was, so I can make the decision whether or not I want to continue or to even have care given
Right.
by them.
Right.
So I just think, we've talked about this so many times that
Mm-hmm.
when you get a doctor, especially when you go to the hospital, you don't know who they are, what they've done, anything about these people. This is scary. And as I said, these women are giving birth and then they're sterilized.
And you trust, and we've used that word 1,000 times, you trust that this has all been vetted. The same as what a lot of places are passing for surgery techs and, other kinds of techs and medical assistants and whatever. These people are privy to your most private moments and private information, and they're not even really vetted any longer from a lot of the podcasts and the stories and the data that we've come across, and talking with medical people in the system saying, yeah, we know this is going on. We do know what this is going on. In my instance, 3 nurses told me, we know that this is what's happening here, and we cannot do anything about it. We can't stop it. We've tried. So, and they left the place. They left the facility, frustrated, wanting to give good care, and they couldn't do anything.
And like in both of our cases, people say, well, complain to the hospital. Yeah, well, in this case, the hospital is being accused of being complicit.
Right.
So,
well, yeah, I mean, I want to say in my case, the same thing too. It was the hospital too. It didn't matter who I complained to. I know in your case. So, I don't want to be downer about it, but I mean, I'm glad this stuff is out of it. Hopefully the right thing that was done to the people and to the facility and whoever was in charge of having this go on. But there's no helping the women that were sterilized.
No.
What about them?
For women having hysterectomies, there's a whole lifetime of health issues that will, could affect them, like heart problems.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it just doesn't stop at being sterilized. There are other physical health problems that could likely cause.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, and who's to say who made the decision if it wasn't valid? I mean, that just goes against every fiber in society of what you would do to somebody. It goes back in the few seconds we have left to when they were sterilizing people that had mental problems. Oh, you can't have any children because you're going to give the society more children with your problem. Well, who gets to make that decision? It's not you that does. Blah, 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 blah. You can't just say this is what it is, but that happened. It happened back in the 100 years ago or however long ago. It's just, this is so disturbing. I don't even have a ton of words for it because we know what's happening, and we've been talking about it, Jeannie, you and I and other people that are involved with us, that you see it in black and white. On that note, stay listening to Evergreen Media Network.